Hey guys, welcome back to STA Farms. I'm Brandy,
And I'm Aaron.
and today's project is
We're going to be taking up these flower beds or garden beds, they're raised garden beds. They've just not worked out for us. We didn't do them right, and we'll explain why and why they didn't work out and what we'd have done better. So y'all hang with us and we'll show you what we got. Just a garden bed. They're 4 foot wide by 16 feet long. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's a board right there. So what we did is we built them, and we've got 3 right here together. And the intentions were to put soil in them and grow tomatoes, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, whatever. And also in this bed, we grew potatoes. Now, the reason this did not work and the reason you do not need to do it like this for the potato part is it was not deep enough. We did not have enough soil in here for the potatoes. They're root vegetables. They could not grow like they needed to. We got a pretty good yield. They just wasn't very big. And of course we do like small potatoes, especially the red ones, but it didn't work out very well. Second reason this didn't work out was the type of soil that we used. We thought we could go to Walmart and buy the raised garden bed soil, put in here, and it would work out great. That did not happen. We used the Walmart soil in this bed here and this bed over here, and the stuff is just, it did not grow very well at all. We had green beans here, and green beans usually grow on a rock, and they wouldn't hardly come up. We had tomatoes that we transplanted, we bought the tomato plants. They didn't do anything. We attempted to have some corn in this bed over here. It didn't do anything. Everything we planted in both these beds, it didn't make anything. I think we might have got like 2 real small tomatoes is all we got, and we probably had 15 or 20 tomato plants in this bed. This bed over here, we did different on this one. We went to a local farm store and we bought 2 scoops of topsoil. Excellent. The stuff grew, the potatoes, we just had potatoes in this bed here. It grew absolutely wonderful. But the problem was with the potatoes, it was not deep enough. It took 2 scoops, which I think was, at that time, I think it was around $50 for the 2 scoops maybe. I'm not sure, but anyways, it took 2 scoops to fill this up, but it grew wonderful. Had we not put potatoes in here and we put tomatoes, green beans or something like that, I think it would have done great. But we put potatoes in here and they did good. And we also had a few onions. They did good, but they just didn't have the depth that they needed to grow. We attempted to put hay on here and do some things like that, and we just couldn't get it to work out. So it didn't work. And then as you can see, they've been neglected. We didn't put anything in here this year, and they just grew up, and honestly we never should let them get in this bad of shape, but we did. And then over here, we actually built these before we built the longer ones. And as you can see here with the cattle panel, what we had here were cucumbers, and the idea was to train them on this trellis, I guess you'd call it, and it did not work out. And the reason this bed over here did not work out, once again, is the soil. We did not use good soil over here. We had dug out for something here on the farm, and it was not topsoil, and we used that here, and then we put mulch and other soil on top. and it just did not have the nutrients that they needed. Nothing grew good here. The only thing that grew good on this bed here was we planted some wheat just to see if we could get some wheat to grow to try to grind it into flour. It grew wonderful, but that was it. None of the vegetables grew. It didn't make it. And these have basically sat here the last 2 years without anything in them and just been in the way. We've just been mowing around them and everything. So what we're doing is we're getting rid of them. So now these beds here are only 8 feet long and 4 feet wide, where them over there 16 feet long, 4 feet wide. So that's what we got.
So he's weed eating over there to try to get easier access to that netting that honestly, I think we had the orchard fenced off with some chickens, and the netting got moved and kind of forgot about, and then we just mowed around it. Most likely what we'll do is pull the netting up, relocate it, not in the grass anymore, and then we will straighten it out and untangle it at a later time.
All right, guys, as you've seen on this video, we've been working today in the yard, getting rid of these raised garden beds. Want to do real quick, kind of go over why they didn't work for us. And the main reason they did not work for us is because of us. We didn't keep them up like we should have. And also the dirt. As I mentioned earlier in the video, with one of these beds, we had really good topsoil that we got at a local farm store. It was excellent. The potatoes and onions in that bed did great. The problem is they didn't have enough room to grow. That's why they didn't make, a lot of them, but they were small. But they didn't have enough room to grow. If that bed had been deeper, it'd been a lot better. But the other two beds was bagged dirt from Walmart. And we shouldn't have used that. We thought it would be good. It said it was for raised garden beds, but it wasn't any good. It wasn't good soil. So, and they didn't grow. So putting all that hard work in, building the beds, putting the dirt in, planting the stuff, all the expense of that, the expense of buying the plants, and then going back and mulching it, and then we had some old hay that we put around it. It was a great weed barrier. It done great. The stuff just didn't grow. And it was because we didn't have good dirt. Now, we might have could have added some amendments to that and all that, which we didn't. But we should have. We just went back over to the farm store and got 4 more scoops of topsoil for the other 2 beds. We didn't. And then putting all that work and money into it that first year and not getting any return hardly at all out of it, the next year we didn't do anything with them. And we just let them grow. We shouldn't have done that. And then this year, we didn't do anything with them. We just let them grow. So that's why it didn't work for us. It most certainly could work for you. I'm not saying we won't ever do it again. I think we've decided to break this area here and just have a conventional garden, just a small conventional garden. Break it up with the breaking plow and till it up and kind of see how that goes. But the raised garden beds, it was a good idea and it most certainly could work. If I do it again, the one thing I will do is I will make them taller where we're not basically on the ground still. That's the big benefit of a raised garden bed, is where you don't where you don't have to bend down so much. And that's what I'll do, is I'll make them taller. But they can work for you. If you do it though, get good dirt. Good dirt. The bag dirt that we got at Walmart for raised garden beds, it was no good. I don't know if it was last year's dirt and it got rained on a lot and all the nutrients had washed out of it. If it's like that every year, I don't know if we just got a bad batch or what, but it was no good for us. I'm not saying anything bad about what you get there, because we got the mulch and all the other stuff there, and it, all that worked like it should. But for whatever reason, we didn't have very good luck with the dirt. Now, we did get the cheapest we could buy, and the saying, you get what you pay for. But I feel like we bought it earlier in the year, and I feel like it was probably either last year's dirt or it had just been left out, and the rainwater had just, because if you leave topsoil or bagged dirt, potting soil, potting mix, stuff like that, if you leave it out in the weather and it gets destroying moisture, especially if water can run in there and run out, you're going to lose your nutrients. And I think that's probably what happened with it. But the topsoil did great, the other 2 didn't. So if you do this, learn from our mistake, get good dirt, get good topsoil. Go to your local farm store, see if they sell dirt. A lot of them do. Tractor Supply, places like that don't, but your mom and pop farm stores. We're fortunate enough to live in a rural place where we got one just, I don't know, maybe 7 miles or so from us, if that. And she sells dirt, rock, she sells all that stuff. Check out places like that. And if some of the guys that haul dirt and gravel, they have access to topsoil where they'll bring in a dump truck load. You might could do that as well. But like I say, learn from our mistakes. It did not work for us, but that was our own fault, the reason it didn't work for us. So I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap this video up. We really appreciate y'all watching. Be sure y'all drop a comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to know where everybody's watching from. But be sure you like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.
All right.